Hello dear students, welcome to the Introduction to Programming 2 lecture 6, as known as also Advanced Programming. So today we are going to compose a new project which will be about patient management system, and we will use all of the skills that we have gained during this year in this project. Okay, I'm going to start composing our database first. So in this project, it will be a simple one. We will have patients, doctors, uh, prescriptions, and diseases. Okay. So how can we compose a database for such data? Okay, let's open and see. We will have patients, doctors, medical doctors actually. Okay. And we will have prescriptions and diseases. Okay. So for this simplistic design, what kind of database you would have? Okay, let's start composing our database. I click new database. I am using SQL Server Management Studio. So the database name will be Patient Management System, PMS. Okay. And in our PMS database, we are going to have how many tables? How many tables? For each case, we would have one table or not? Okay. Okay, for this system, we are going to design a relational database. Okay. Relational database means that there will be relations between tables and records. Okay, so let's start with a new table. Okay, first I will use a user ID, and I am going to define it as integer. If you are going to have more than 2 billion records, you can set it big integer as well. So this will be a primary key, but not only primary key, I am going to make it also identity key. So it is going to be an identity key. Its seed will be 1 and its increment will be 1. So for each record I add to this table, will start from user ID 1, and each time it will get increased by 1. So I will show you that in a moment. And what else there will be in this table? So we are going to have two type of let's say users. One will be patients and one will be doctors, right? So we can have user type, and it is under 226. Therefore I will use small tiny int to define that, and I won't allow null for this one as well. So let's save our table with Control S, or you can also click here. So this table will be TBL users. Okay. So first of all, I want to show you what does this primary key and identity means. When I refresh here, it has here. Now I am clicking edit top 2000 rows. Okay. So you cannot enter any value to user ID. Why? Because it is identity key. Okay. Therefore, it is automatic. So I can only enter user type. I am entering 103. If I enter something bigger than 250, it will throw me an error, because tinyInt allows you to have numbers between 0 and 255, because it is 8 bits. Okay. And with 8 bits, you can have between 0 to 255 integers. Therefore, I can make it like this and here like this. You see user ID is coming automatically, and each time it is incremented by 1. And when I do select, okay, they are all here. So what happens if I delete them? Or can I update user ID, such as update TBL users, set user ID equal to like this, where user ID equal to 1. Will it work? No, because you cannot update identity column. Okay, can I delete them? Of course. Delete from TBL users, and they are gone, as you can see. So what happens when I add something new here? It says values are changed, therefore I have to reopen like this. And when I add something like this, it will start from, by the way, 5, because it continue from its last seed. So if you want to reset the seed as well, what can you do? So let's delete all the records. You can also use truncate command. Truncate command is much faster than delete command, because it is lockless and it cannot be taken back. Truncate table TBL users like this. It will immediately delete it. And when I click properties, okay, let's see if the seed is displayed here. Maybe it is here. Let's design. Open design again. And let's see the user ID, table designer, identity. Okay, so the seed is not displayed here, therefore we are going to reset the seed. However, you can reset the seed after you have deleted all the records. Okay, and what was the comment? I don't remember. Let me find it. Okay. Yeah, here. Okay, so the table name is TBL users. Reset seeds 0. Okay, and then when we add something, yeah, now it is starting from 0. So if you want to start it from 1, then you should reset the seed as 1. Okay. Okay, now let's continue our design. So we are going to have user type. And for this user type, we are going to compose another table, new table, and it will have user type ID, which will be small integer, let's say, and user type name or description, whatever you want, and var characters, and let's make it 156, doesn't matter. So this will be a primary key, and it will be TBL user types. Okay. Okay, so let's refresh it. And what user types we are going to have? User type 1 will be medical doctors, and user type 2 will be patients. Okay, and now it is ready. Okay, so this where here this user type will be dependent on the user types table. So I can link this to ID here. However, these IDs are not likely to change. So it is more related to database design. So I want to enter that. So we can set, a foreign key to this one, to here. What does that mean? Okay, let's see that as well. So let's open this again. So this will be a small int and actually tiny int. Yeah. And this is going to have a foreign key. So I am clicking new foreign key, and there are some settings. As you can see, check existing data on creation or re-enabling, and there are also some other specifications. Enforce for replication, enforce for key constraint, insert, update, delete specification, and there can be rules as well. Okay, so let's look from here. And let's see what does that do as well, simply. So the foreign key is constraint is used to prevent actions that would destroy links between tables. And a foreign key is a field or collection of fields in one table that refers to primary key in another table. The table with foreign key is called the child table, and the table with primary key is called the reference set or parent table. So the child table will be TBL users, and the parent table will be TBL user types. So let's add some records to TBL users to see what happens. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Okay, whatever. They are all done. Okay, so you see some values are not updated here in the edit window. Why? Yeah, to designer simply. Now when we select, you see they are all incremented. And the table, okay. So here, so how do we compose a foreign key? Okay, so I just need to add, okay, here. So this is the way of adding a foreign key in a Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, alter table, TBL users, add constraint, foreign key, let's say person type. And the foreign key will be on, let's see, user type, references to TBL user types, TBL, okay, here, and which column it will be referencing to user type ID. Okay. However, there are also some other options such as update, on update, or on delete. Okay. Cascade. Okay, I want to show you that actually, and on delete also. Okay, there is delete cascade and update cascade. I also want to add them. So how do we do it? With query. Okay, so it is, okay, there is a rule. Yeah, we can also add from designer. I think it would be even easier. So let's add a new foreign key. And foreign key base table. No, not this one. Let's delete them. Okay, let's see the designer. Okay, so we navigate to the keys folder in the child table, right click keys folder and select new foreign key. Okay, so we do it on the child table here and new foreign key. Okay, and here on insert update delete we need to select cascade about do it. Okay, let's see. Okay, there is tables and specifications from here. Primary key table, user type ID, foreign key table will be another table. Yeah, not here. Okay, not this one. Foreign key table. I have to be able to select another table here. Okay, so TBL, but I'm not able to change it. So let's try from here. Okay, primary key table will be, I think yes. Now I can change it. So let's restart so you can understand. So I am coming to my child table, which is TBL users. I click new foreign key, and from tables and column specifications, I select primary key table as user types. A foreign key table will be TBL users, and the user type ID will be key of user type here. Okay, and then we will set delete rule and update rule. Okay, and is this edit now? Okay, no. And how it is saved? I wonder if it is saved. Okay, we select them. We select them. Okay, it says yes, but I don't see it. Where is the save button? Is it here? No. Oh, we have to save it here. I see. So when we save TBL users, it is showing this, yeah. And now, okay, now it is here. And so when we click modify, we can see it. It is cascaded. Okay, so what does this means? This means that, let me show you. Now, these user type records are linked to primary key of user type ID here. Okay. However, this is not identity, this user type ID, so I can change them. So when I update, you see these are underlined, therefore I have to go IntelliSense and refresh local cache, TBL user types, and set user type ID equal to, let's say 12, where user type ID equal to 2. So this will automatically update the records in other table as well because of the cascade. Okay, one row affected here, and now let's see. Okay, you see these are updated to 12. This is what it is about having foreign keys. Okay, so if I delete the type 1, what happens? It is also cascaded to delete as well. Delete from TBL user types where user type ID equal to 1. So let's see. So it has deleted one row here. However, the records here will be also deleted. Okay, so this is a really dangerous feature. You have to use it extremely carefully. However, it can be also extremely useful as well. So imagine that you have relational tables. For example, you want to delete a user, and now then you would have to delete all records related to that user as well. So if you use foreign keys, when you delete the user, all other records that depends on user would get automatically deleted if you use these foreign keys cascading system. Okay, so I think this was extremely useful to explain you in details. So I will take a note of lecture 6 context. Okay, in lecture 6, how to I have to take a pause. Okay, how to reset identity column, and what is a foreign key? What is foreign key? Update, delete, cascade. Okay, and okay, let's continue. So now we have learned how to do foreign keys, cascading, and such. And I'm going to edit my table again. Okay, I will make it 1 and 2 will be medical doctors. So this is what is it about being what is it about programming a relational database? Okay, and simply we will just keep um, a tiny int value as the type of user. Not we are not going to write the name of the user type here, so it will be much more efficient, easy to update, and it will take lesser space. All right, so let's delete the records, and then let's reset it. Where is our reset? You can also achieve that foreign key with a query like this, but using design is, I think, better. Okay, I'm going to close this. Okay, this. Okay, looks like we have deleted the truncate command. Oh, it was here. Okay. You see, it is saying that the current identity value was 12. Now it is reset to 1. Okay, let's design the table. So we are going to have user type, and from our design, what else we need? We can have user email for login, user email, and it will be and var character. Actually, it can be var character because emails cannot have non-English letters, and but we also don't want two users to register with the same email. Okay, so how can we ensure that in the database? We can ensure it with a way like this. Let me show you. Okay, and first I will add some records. For example, 1 and a at okay gmail.com. Okay, 2a@gmail.com. I wonder if this character is even saved in var character. Okay, so it is a valid character, perhaps. And a@com. Okay, 1a@gmail.com. Okay, so right now we have multiple users with the same email, such as var email or user email equal to this. You see, 3 email is same. They are case insensitive due to our collation. So let's check our collation as well. And where is the collation options? Yeah, so our collation is set as case insensitive but accent sensitive. Okay, and so what does that mean? That means that, for example, let's set another one. She at gmail.com. But since this is var character, yeah, they are saved as same because it is not an var character, it is already var character. Anyway, and so our aim is not allowing same email to be recorded at the database. So how can I do that? I can do it with a simply index. So what kind of index we can have? I am going to have a new index, but as you see, it is not allowing me to change index from this Server Management Studio right now. I think it's the bug in SQL Server Management Studio. So when this happens, I just restart or open another instance of SQL Server Management Studio. I don't know why that happens, but it happens sometimes. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to define an index. Okay, so it will be a non-clustered index. Okay, and in this non-clustered index, we are going to have user email. Okay, and it will be unique like this. So when you set an index like this, it will only allow unique values to be included in that column. Also, it would also speed up your var queries, and we can also add a constraint, and the constraint would be it requires an expression. Okay, let's see a constraint. I have never added a constraint. I have only used indexes, and let's see if that is possible. Okay, these are okay. I wonder if the only way is index or constraint as well. Yeah, it is about indexes. So currently, I will just delete this. Our index is failing to compose. Do you know why? Because we already have duplicate key in our database. So therefore, first we have to delete our records. Okay. Like this. Then we can compose our index. We can give a name for it, such as index user email. By the way, here I am picking unique. Non-clustered means that it won't be the primary key of the table. You can look for it for more details later. And so when I check unique, that means that this column will be now unique. Okay. And when by the way, if you are allowing null, probably you can't set it as unique. I don't know. I haven't tried it. Okay. So now I won't be able to add same email twice. For example, one a@gmail.com. Then a@gmail.com, and it will throw me an error. Okay, you see, cannot insert duplicate key row in object with unique index as like this. So this is the way to ensure uniqueness on a column. This may be the this is probably the only most efficient way, because if you don't keep an index, each time when you add a record, it would be have to rescan the entire table. Therefore, an index is the only proper way. Yes. So we have also verified our theory as well. Okay, so let's continue our design. Then what else we need? We need password. User password. We will keep password with SHA 256 encryption, and we will also salt it. I will also show you what is salted password. What does that mean? Okay, SSH output size. I think it is 64 character always. Yeah, it is 64 if I remember correctly. So I'm going to set it as character 64 always. And what other info would we need? By the way, it is each time showing this. Do you know why? Because we did set a foreign key here. Therefore, it is always oh, by the way, it says that index was added and it will be deleted because it was added here and not on this window, on this instance. And therefore, I will just copy this. Then open another design. Oh, it is gone. Yeah. Okay, let's say user PV character 64. Okay. Database design is something that you need to develop your skills over time. It is not an easy task. Designing an efficient database. Okay, what other information we can keep? We can keep register IP, for example, and we can keep IP as IP version 4. We can also count it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it is 12 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 character. But it would be better to keep it as n character, as I mean var character 16. Okay, so this will be registration IP, and we can also make this unique. So from one IP, a person can only register one, but it is up to us. And we can keep the register date. such as date time, and we can set a default value for this, such as, okay, this is a method of SQL Server. For example, if you type like this, you will get the UTC time. When you are working on a server, the time synchronization is really important. So I prefer to use UTC time for my programs, but you can also keep the local time as system date time. In that case, it will be dependent on your system time. So UTC time is better, universal. Okay. User can should also record her first name and last name. So first name, such as Anwar character 40, probably enough, and last name or surname, but both is fine. Okay, and this can't be also null. And what other information we will take from patient or doctor? Okay, since we will keep both doctors and patients, we can also keep the specific area of doctors. Therefore, we can design them in our user types. For example, there can be other doctor types as well. You can expand the table, but for simplicity, let's just keep it as this way. Okay, so this will be our users table. Okay, it says that we cannot insert null value because there are some records in our table. Oh, we didn't pick the allow nulls. Oh, we have to delete this existing record. Why? Because we are not allowing nulls. Therefore, if there is an existing record, I cannot modify table like this. I have to pick checkbox allow null, or I have to delete records. Let's delete them. Okay, now it will let me save. Okay, so users table is saved and user types is ready. Then what other table we need? We need prescriptions table. Okay, so let's compose a new table. It will be simply prescription ID. It will have. We can make this integer primary key, but it doesn't have to be identity. We can also make it identity. It is up to us. So let's make it identity for easier processing. And the prescription, what else there can be for prescriptions? There can be milligram size and name, expiration date, whatever. So I will say I will keep the milligram. No, we can keep the milligram in the name as well. Or yeah, let's add a column for that. So it will be prescription milligram. Yeah. Okay, medication. How it is? Okay, drug dose. Yeah, let's call it as dose. Milligram. And since it will be a milligram, let's make it how much milligram? Yeah, small int should be sufficient. And then prescription name, or oh, this is about drugs, not the prescription, so this is the drug ID and dose milligram and drug name. and it will be Anwar character 200. Okay, so this will be drugs table. Okay, and then we will have diseases. Okay. Do we need diseases for this task? Yeah, for searching we would need. Okay, so let's set a disease ID. You see, the database design is totally up to you. How you design it, how efficiently you design it. It is about your experience, your experimentation. Okay, disease name. Okay, and it can be like this. And there can be disease description. We could expand this database for disease symptoms and such other things, but it would make it even more, let's say, complex. We don't need that right now. Okay. Okay. So there will be disease ID, disease name, disease description, TBL, diseases. Okay, one more table we need. What table can that be? Just think about that. Okay, we will have a table that will have the prescriptions. What does that mean? That medical doctors will write drugs to the patients with disease assignment. Okay, so now it is about this is what it means to have relational database. So here we will have a prescription ID. How else can we call it? It can be also treatment as well. Let's make it treatment ID. Yeah. And it will be primary and will be identity specification. Yes. And this treatment ID will include doctor. So the treating doctor will be issued, or let's say prescribing doctor. So this will be the doctor user ID. Doctor user ID. Okay. And then prescribing doctor user ID, patient user ID. Okay. And what else there can be? Prescribing doctor user ID, patient user ID, and prescribed drug. Okay, so if you make prescribed drug, then we cannot have multiple drugs assigning to a treatment. Okay. Therefore, I will not make it that way. I will put here also, in addition, um, uh, disease ID. Disease ID. Okay. And let's save it as TBL treatments. And I will also set foreign keys for these treatments here. Okay, so let's check. So the primary key will be, okay, disease ID. Oh, foreign key will be, sorry about that. Foreign key will be the diseases here. So let's set it. Okay, so the primary key table will be treatments, and from treatments there will be disease ID. It will be equal to disease ID of diseases. So they will be cascaded. Okay. Okay, it says that it is not unique or not. Okay, so we are not able to set a relation like this. Okay, one moment. Okay, so the primary key will be disease ID and foreign key will be disease ID in our treatments table. Okay, now it is done and I am going to set it as cascade and cascade. By the way, when you set it like this and assume that you are trying to add a non-existing uh, uh, disease ID to your treatment table, then you would get an error. Okay, so this is useful for that as well. So let's continue our other foreign keys. I will delete this, and okay, delete this as well. So let's restart. Okay, here foreign key table will be disease ID and diseases, disease ID done. And another one, by the first make this cascading. Okay, you see enforce for replication for NK constraint. By with that way you won't be able to add a non-existing disease ID to your treatment table. Okay, and so here drugs, no, not drugs. We need users. Yes, from users table, user ID will be the patient user ID. Oh, we can define multiple? No. Okay, I wonder if this would work. Let's try. Let's make another one. And this time primary key will be user ID again. And it will be doctor user ID, yes. Okay, and when we save the table, okay, it's saved. So we still need one more table, but before going that, let's try something. Okay, so let's add some users to our database. To see our foreign keys. So user ID, we can set it to user type 1, email, something. User password has to be 64 character. This is a bit problem. Let's say let's use some base 64 encoder. No, not this one. Okay, there is an online tool. Yeah, something like this. Okay. And register IP, something like this. Register date, we can leave it null because it will be UTC date time. Okay. Okay, now we have the first user and let's add a disease. For example, disease ID, disease name. Let's say coronavirus. Yeah, corona. It is COVID-19. Very dangerous. Be careful. Okay. Okay, now I have ID and I need also another user because I have one currently patient that and then I need also a medical doctor. So let's add another user. Okay, user type 2, something 2. Let's copy same. Okay. And and let's say Dr. X. Okay, whatever. So this is the doctor. Now we can add a treatment. Okay. So the treatment ID will be automatic. So the doctor ID will be 2, patient user ID will be 1, disease ID will be 1, and okay. Okay, let's see. Don't we have two users? Oh, you see our user IDs are different because each time when you try to commit a change from editing window of SQL Server Management Studio and it fails, your your primary key will be increased by 1. What I mean is each time when you try to commit a new record from SQL Server Management Edit window interface and it fails, your primary key will increase by 1. Okay, so this is why we have 4 and 6. Therefore, we will make them as 6 and 4. Okay, now it is working. And when I try something like this user does not exist, and this user exists, and this one exists. You see, now it is throwing me an error. This is what is it about foreign keys. So foreign keys ensure that you have valid values in your tables. Okay, it is extremely useful if you use it properly. All right, and there is one more thing we need. We need drugs, prescribed drugs. So prescribed drugs will have, this time we are not going to have a primary key. Why? Because the primary key will be a composition of treatments and drug IDs in this case. So there will be treatment ID. Okay, something like this, and there will be drug ID. And that's all. This is what we need for prescribed drugs. And the composition of these two values will be the primary key. Let's say, however, we can also add any additional thing. It can be as the prescription date. Why? Because a patient may get multiple prescriptions of the same treatment, but it is related to your design. So let's keep it this way for now. And yeah, let's keep it simple. TBL prescriptions. Okay. And now we also need to set foreign keys for this. So this time it will be primary key will be drugs, and from drugs it will be drug ID, and from here it will be drug ID. Yeah. So this will be none, and this will be drug ID. Okay. Okay, looks like we are not able to set this kind of foreign key. Oh, I think we can set yes, none. Okay, and I will make it insert, update, delete, cascaded. Okay. When you cascade, it may delete your records, so it is extremely dangerous as well. So we have set the drug, and now we are going to set the treatment. So there will be a treatment ID here, and this will be none. Okay, so we have fully set primary keys and foreign keys and everything. Okay, now it is saved. Okay, now everything is ready to code. We have designed our database perfectly fine, and let's start with our coding. Database design is extremely important part of programming, and it requires knowledge, skill, experience, research, experimentation, everything. And there are also indexes for performance tuning, and I haven't get into them yet. So we are opening VPF.NET Framework. This was named as .NET Core previously, as you already know. Let's pick our folder. Okay, here, lecture 6. Oh, this is not .NET Core, yeah. So I was confused. VPF is now .NET, not .NET Framework. This is regular .NET Framework. We need to pick this one, yes. Okay, you see there is no framework selection. So let's pick this source folder. Here. Okay, lecture 6. Okay. Oh, there is .NET 3.1. You see now it shows this is one out of support, this is long-term support, and .NET 5 Core 5 is current. We are going to use always the newest technology. Okay. Okay, so our code is being generated. Okay, so our project is composed. Okay, if you remember, to be able to use Entity Framework in .NET Core, we were using reverse engineer, and therefore I will use it as well. So we will get a new database source. Okay, it is retrieving list of servers. We can also get faster server with a server name like here. Okay, and database name will be our PMS. Okay, and rest will be by default. Currently you see here it says loading database objects. Now we will pick our tables and you see it is displaying the primary keys. The other things, the foreign keys are related to the database itself. I don't think so it is getting into Entity Framework design. Okay, I will leave the rest as default. Okay, so our classes are generated. Okay, it is installing EP Core Provider package and it is also installed and references will get loaded. You see it is saying that responding problem, so loading packages and references are taking time. Oh, I see. It also even have the foreign key constraints as well. So you see, even they are loaded, and it even shows the Unicode or fixed length. Everything is loaded into classes. Okay, this is pretty convenient. All classes are here: TBL, diseases, drugs, prescriptions, treatments, users, user types. Okay, and are we ready right now? Okay, and I am going to add my existing class from my another project. Okay, I think it is, how do we do it? Add existing item here, and it is located in lecture 5. Here's a CSDB connection. Okay, so you see this has namespace lecture 3. Therefore, if I don't include this namespace into my project, I cannot use it. So if I want to use it, either I can change its namespace or I can delete namespace, and when you delete the namespace, it will become available to your entire project. And then it says that SQL connection is not available. And let's see, it says that, okay, we have data here. Okay, it says that the type named SQL connection could not be found, namespace system data SQL client. Okay, to have it, okay, let's close and reopen. Okay, it looks like we have to add SQL client. Maybe we should, I don't remember we have installed it. Okay, data. Let's install it. Okay, after we installed the package, it is available. So this was our default SQL connection class. Now let's add existing item and okay, so we didn't code anything for entity framework as a global function. Okay, so we can continue from what we have. So I will change the database name here to PMS. All right. Okay, now let's start with a register window for users. Okay, for registering users, we are going to have several text boxes, and we can also use uh, we can also use tab control as well if we want. Okay, so let's start with the tab item, and first one will be name it as register. Okay, and here let's make our grid like this. Okay, okay, now that we have, okay, this is weird, let's take it back. Okay, let's put some things so it will automatically get updated. Okay, to properly position them, you can use grid layout. I think what was it called? Yeah, grid layout, but I won't be wasting time with that right now, as it is not our topic in this at the moment. Okay, so this will be a username, or let's say first name. Okay, so let's put it here. So the design thing is totally up to you. You can design your application as you want, as you wish. Let's make them same height. So let's make each one of them is 40, and this will be also 40. And I will position them same like this. Okay. So I think, can we vertical align that? Let's look for it. Let's try this if it is working. And vertical aligned, yeah, there is vertical alignment, center, and I have to delete this. Okay, it is not about text, so we need something related to text vertical alignment, content vertical alignment. Oh, I see. We have to use something like this. Anyway, I won't be spending time to get it. So there will be first name, and let's delete the text and give it a name. STX the first name, and let's copy and paste this to as, okay. So this will be last name. Okay, txt last name. Okay, and what other information we are going to have? We are going to have email, right? So for email, okay, let's type it here. email, and I will make the email text box bigger, such as this, and txt email. Okay, and then we are going to have, okay, what the other information we do collect. Yeah, we are going to need password, user, or let's say password. Okay, and we can also have password verification. So password will be about password box like this, so it can't have text. Okay, and it will be txt password 1, no text wrapping as well. Okay, so password, and okay, one moment. Okay, and password verify like this. Okay, let's, okay, so we need text wrapping for this. Wrap. Okay, so we need text block for that, perhaps. Yeah, we need, okay, you can use it like this as well. Okay, verify. No, not this one. Okay, verify. Password. You see now the text is put inside another other box, something like that. So that's how it is wrapped. And okay, let's make it like this. I think, can we make this maximum size? Okay, so there is height and width, so let's make it same as the content. They are not matching. Interesting. Well, okay, anyway, it is working, and not important anyway. So this will be txt pv2, and finally we are going to have a combo box for picking up authority level. So I will make the selection inside this one. I will show you what I mean. So this will be name gm box user rank, and then we will have a button for register. Okay, and let's put a button here and let's name it as register. Name btn register. Okay. Okay, let's compose its click event. All right. So there are several things I want to do right now. First one is I don't want to write my code inside my main window class. How can I do it? I can do it simply like this. First, I generate an instance of main window, or let's say a reference of main window and assign it. So main window will be something like this: public main window and main. Okay, and this main will have reference of this. Okay, so why I am doing that, I will explain to you. And register will call another class. So let's add a class as register operations. Okay, here. Okay, so register will call a register here. So public void complete register, and this method will be called. So let's make it class, static class, and this will be public static. Okay. Okay, so this button will simply call this method inside register operations. Okay, then I also need another thing. I have to initialize the combo box. So let's write a method for that. First, write the method inside here, then we will move it. So what is this going to do? This will initialize items into our combo box. Okay, but I want to use a class. What I mean is a collection, observable collection, to be source of my combo box. So basically, we are going to design a collection of observable collection of user types. Okay, so observable collection. So to be able to use it, probably I don't need. Yes, let's do it like this. Observable collection. Probably it is not available. Yeah, it has added a reference perhaps. Okay, observable collection, and it will be type of TBL user types here, and user ranks whatever equal to new user types, observable collection. Okay, it is given, which is okay. Now it is working. Then we will use our entity framework. Okay, so for do it, we will do using, and I don't remember the exact syntax because I am still not used to it yet. So let's open our previous code and Okay, so here, yeah, here. So it will be a context. Okay, using so our context will be PMS. PMS context or let's say context equal to new PMX context here. Then we are going to get user types. Okay, so TBL user types and let's say var records or VR user types equal to context dot TBL user types dot find or select. So find returns finds an entity. If found, attach it to context and return. If not identified, null is returned. So there can be find or what else there can be? Select. So what does select do? So okay, so I think we need to find like this. Okay, so let's see what will these return to us for now and proceed from there. But this context will be available only inside this using statement. That's an important factor to consider. Okay, one moment. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so our software is running. Okay, so let's click register. Oh, we didn't call this yet. So I will call it here first. By the way, this means instance of the main class here. Okay, so let's execute a step. Okay, so no database provider has been configured, DB context. Yeah, we have to set DB on configuring. We had done that here. And where was it? It was inside here, perhaps. Yeah, here. On configuring inside context. So PMX context here, and we are going to use it here. And yes, now it should work. You see, you don't have to memorize. You just need to know where to look. Okay, so it says okay, so the find didn't bring everything. Okay, it was just like this. We don't need find. Find is used for, I think, doing where queries. So it is about filtering the number of rows returned. Okay. One moment. Yes, so let's see what has returned. So we have entity type and local. So inside local, we have 0 entity type. Okay, there is count. Yeah, there are 2 counts, and probably there are non-public members. Okay, so let's do a for each inside. So this is the type of being db set tb user types, and from here what do we have? And item dots. Okay, so when we check item we see tbl users, user type id, and username. Okay, so this is what do we need actually. However, I don't understand why this is here. So this is I collection. And okay, so let's try like this. Let's add inside this something. Okay, new tbl user types, and here I think, let's see. So in tbl user types we have public string user type name, and we have type user id. They are inside tbl user types. Okay, so when we say this, why I cannot set the values here? Oh, I can set it. So here I will set, by the way, there is one extra thing. Yeah, okay. So here I will set the user type ID as 0 and type name as please pick user type. Okay. So this will be a string. So this will be the first item of our observable collection. Then I will add item. Okay, item. And then I will bound it as item source equal to user ranks, and we also need to set the display item. So the display path or display member path will be equal to user type name. Okay, so let's try. I'm hoping that it will work. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is working as expected. And one final thing. Okay, we will set the selected index as 0. Okay, so this will be our initialization. However, I am going to write another class, so we will reduce the code we are writing in our main window. You should write as minimal as possible code inside your main window class, main interface class. Okay, so let's add another class here, and let's call it as init, or let's say up init. Okay, and it will be a public static class and public static void init up our method. And here we will do the same. So it will be something like this. Okay, now you will see we are getting an error of observable collection because we need to add reference. We have added. Then we are not able to access this. So how we are going to access it is simply we are going to access it by our main window dot or not that. So how can we access it? We can access it. Okay, public static main window main, and from here we can access it, I think here, yeah, and like this. I could also get reference of this combo box inside here. However, I think, yeah, I think I will do a better approach. So, okay, let's say main, and so it will be simply when I call this method, I will call it like this: up init dot init up, and it will take this. Okay. So you can use either method. You can either reference it or you can provide reference like this. It is up to you. I think we can reference it like this, but we can keep other way as well. So let's keep both of them. Okay, and now when we run the application, we should see as expected. You see how clean our code is looking. This is the proper way of coding. Okay, so it says please pick a user type, patients or medical doctors, and you can pick any type, and then there will be other things. So now we need to take also main window as well, main as reference. So this is just simply passing the reference of main window instance. Okay, and here we are going to using PMS context. Okay, simply we are going to set values and then add record. Okay, so how we're gonna do it is context.tbl users dot add. Okay, so before doing that, we will compose a tbl users my user as tbl users my user dot the first name will be equal to main.txt first name. By the way, if you need checks, then you need to do it also. Will be equal to main.txt last name dot text, of course. And then I also need to have my SHA-206. And we are going to also make it salted. Okay, it is important to make it salted. And how can we make it salted, by the way? So I bet you wonder what is salted. Or let's say hashing. So you see, when you save your passwords as SHA-206, it is not enough because there are rainbow tables, and with that way hackers still can solve a lot of passwords. However, when you salt your hash, then you can never fail. Okay, so it is best to salt a user password for each user. And so how can we do it? Simply, let's say Yeah, if we are not going to let user to change their name, then we can use their first name as a salt. It makes sense. So first we need to check, of course, if the dot tx or password pv1, I mean, for example, moment. This is a simple check I'm doing. Okay, so then I have to display a message box show. So okay, you see I am not able to access message box inside here, as you can see, but with reference I wonder if we can. Yeah, I think we can. Show, okay. Entered passwords not matching, please type your password. Okay, then we will simply return from the method not continue. Okay, then we are going to compose our salted password. So this is our SHA-256 function. So let's add another class as global methods. Okay. And public static, or let's edit something like this. By the way, I will make this as an extension. So it will be an extension to call. Okay, it is ready. And so basically, I will use another thing. So let's say, let's add another method. Yeah, so this will take string sr user pv and string user first name. By the way, we don't need this to be public, it can be private. And this will return compute SH206. Okay. So let's append it as something like this. And add some character here. And so you see, we will not simply get the password of user, get the hashed output of the user password. So we are going to make it unique, and with this way, no rainbow tables will be useful. This is the proper way of password keeping. Therefore, you should use it also. You can look for what is salted password. There are, or you see lots of information. I won't get into them right now. However, but there is one key issue with this. When you check user password, then you have to apply same rule. So first you need to get first name of the user from database. Then you need to add that to user entered password and compare it whether it is matching or not. So this is an extra time consuming thing. However, this greatly increases your password security. Even your database gets hacked, hackers cannot ever obtain your passwords. Okay, it practically makes it impossible to decode passwords. Okay, so where is our register here? Okay, then we will get the user password as this one. Okay, pv equal to global methods dot return user pv, and it will take my user dot first name and password. Okay, here. Okay, main txt pv1 text or not password to string. Okay. Okay, and then what else we are going to take? We are going to get user rank. Okay, so we also need to check that if combo box, so it is from main, and combo box selected index is equal to 0, or let's say lesser than 1, then we will show an error. Okay, please, let's say error. Please select your user rank role first. Then return. Then we will set the user type as equal to. So you see, this is the tricky part, or the beautiful part. CMB box user rank selected item dot or let's say yes, selected item. However, I am going to make an explicit conversation as user types like this, and then it will be okay. Still not, so this is not the way. So let's make it as user types, and then dot user type ID. Yes. So you see, when you bind a class or a list of items to a combo box or another thing, then you can keep all of the features of that class. So now with this approach, I can get the user type value of selected user type. And what other values do we have? Okay, we have type navigation. Okay, we won't use this. I don't know why it has generated that. We have email, and it will be okay, main dot txt email dot text. And what other value we need? First name, last name, register date. Register date is automatic. IP, yeah, we need to provide some IP, so I will just provide some fake IP right now. Okay, something like this. And okay, TBL tracemas patient user. Okay, we don't need, oh, I see why these are existing. These are existing because they are foreign keys. Therefore, I will just pass them, and I don't know if they should be visible here. There is also user type. So this is user type. Yeah, oh, okay, everything is set. Then we are going to add this into our context. TBL, okay, users, add my user. Then I need to save changes. Okay, so when you do this, you should do a try catch block, because if an error happens, then you can catch and display it. Okay, and error, let's say let's put a new line. So let's put the error. Okay, and I will make the error as plus. Let's put some new lines, and if inner exception available, stack trace, yes, or message. Yeah, let's provide message. Okay, otherwise, let's say user has been successfully registered. Then you should reset the values as main dot, for example, txt email, something like this, and main dot txt first name like this, and such. Okay, so this is what you should do when someone registers. You can reset or whatever you want. Do the after register operations. Okay. So after this, you have to, of course, return for other message to be not seen. All right, let's see if our so far code is working or not. Oh, did we call this? Yes, we have called it inside here. One reference, and let's go there. Yeah, we have to provide our main window reference here. Okay, and let's see. Okay, let's register. Okay, test one, surname one. Let's enter my great name at gmail.com. Password one. Register. Yes, it says please select your user rank. I will put another password here. And you say it is not matching. 1. So patient register. Yes, it is working, and these values are deleted. And let's see. Yes, it is here. Exactly working as we want. Let's register another one. So I will use the same name, same email. So let's see if error happens. Register. Okay, it says error. An error has occurred while registering. Error is an error occurred while updating the entries. See the inner exception for details. You see, providing inner exception provides more details. Therefore, I have also posted on message. Cannot insert duplicate key row in object TBO TBL users. Okay. However, you wouldn't like to display entire message to the client because you see it is exposing our table name, which is something that we wouldn't like. Okay, so if you should catch the error and say the user that this email is being used. Okay, not show the entire message. Let's say never show the raw error message to the user because it can cause your system exposure to the let's say threats hackers. Okay, so it didn't work, so let's add another one and let's change this. Yes, it is working. When we do something like this, you see, please select your user rank. Okay, everything is working. Let's get the values. Yes, they are all here. You see our unsuccessful registration try also increased our user ID by 1. I don't know if that behavior can be prevented, but I haven't checked it. By the way, these are salted hashes. So let's see. Normally we have written only one as a password. So where was that? SHA 206 online. So let's see. Okay, so these are not matching. However, if we follow our practice, it will be this test one. Then we are adding this string like this, and let's see if they are matching. Yes, they are matching. Yes, you can see exactly as matching as you can see. So this is what is about salting. If you just simply use one, this is probably already in rainbow tables, therefore they can easily solve that this hash matches the one. However, if you use salting, then there is no possible way for them to automatically solve even easy passwords such as one. Okay, this is the way it is. All right, I think this lesson was awesome. So let's record all of them as notes. Okay, how to not write code in main window but compose proper classes to reduce complexity of your main window written code. Okay. Okay, how to, so this was a regular insert. Um, how to do, or let's say salted password hashing. Okay, how to do salted SSH 206 password hashing. Okay, what else? What else? Okay, how to bind custom. Let's say how to bind list of custom class elements to a combo box and read the value of selected item of that custom class. Okay, what else did we do? Okay, how to generate in .NET Core application of existing database. Okay. Okay, so on configuring. So let's close this global method. Okay. And register operations. Okay, let's say how to insert. Okay, and you see how it is easy to save a record with this approach. We could also achieve this with regular, of course, regular our DB connection as well. However, you can also use this. It is perfectly fine. You see, I am using this using class. It is really important because after this using class ended, all of the objects here will be properly disposed of. When you are working with database operations, you should always use using class using scope. It is really important. And okay, I think it is enough for this today. Okay, how to program a register screen for patient management system. Okay. Okay, this was a great lecture. I will also put this database backup into our folder. However, I suggest you to compose the database yourself from zero, from scratch, to learn it better, to learn how do we do it. Otherwise, you probably would have a lot of problems. So I will put it inside CDB and PMS dot backup. You can restore it, of course, if you have the latest version, as I have. So the versions have to be latest or upper version. Okay, I will put this inside our introduction problem, lecture 6 here. Okay. Okay, and let's upload our source code. 5. Okay, everything uploaded. To restore a database, you come here and pick restore, and then just select device and pick from the folder. That's it. Okay, hopefully see you next week. End of lecture 6.